If I were starting a creative career from scratch with nothing but myself and $10,000, the first thing I definitely would not buy is a camera. And I know that sounds counterintuitive and maybe it's even controversial, but I'm going to explain exactly why that is and what I'd do instead. This is going to be a fun one, and I hope you'll come along for the ride.
My name is Nolan Matthews. I'm a photographer, director, and pilot based in Utah. After nearly a decade in the corporate world, I walked away to build a life around travel, adventure, and storytelling. This channel is all about the work, the process, and the stories behind it all.
So, you're starting a photography or filmmaking career from scratch, and all you have is a $10,000 check and a decision to make. So where do you start? If you're like I was, you'll head straight to the camera store. After all, I was a photographer and I needed a camera, a lens or two, and some batteries. And before I knew it, that $10,000 was shrinking fast. At least I had my tools and could go, right? Here's the problem. I overlooked almost everything else required to actually run a career in this world. And the camera turned out to be the thing that I needed the least. So if I could do it over, here's a list of things I would actually start with. Number 1, a computer. This might seem obvious, but your computer is going to be the thing you spend the most time behind, not your camera. This is where you're actually going to live. Writing emails, building a website, connecting with clients, taking courses, editing and managing your books, researching, selling, all of it happens on a computer. You do not want to skimp here. Camera files are massive. You need a machine that can handle them efficiently. Otherwise, you're spending more time and money troubleshooting than actually working. Today, our business runs 3 machines. A souped up Mac Studio is our main editing workhorse and 2 maxed out 16-inch MacBook Pros, so we're covered on the road and have redundancy if something goes down. Yeah, it took me years to get to this point, but if I was starting today, a MacBook Pro is a no-brainer first purchase for a creative professional. Don't skimp, your computer is everything, literally. Number 2, storage and backups. Is this you? Because if it is, this is not sustainable and it's not professional. If you're shooting photo or video, you're going to accumulate an enormous amount of files, and those files need a home, a system, and ideally a backup, because failures will happen. This is something I overlooked for years. I'd fill up an SSD, and then I'd buy another one, and I'd fill that up too. And at the end of the day, I had no idea where anything was and no real backups in place. My files just lived on these drives and I hoped nothing would go wrong. And that's not a good way to live. Luckily, I never lost work to a drive failure, but I did have software glitches wipe out entire edits because of poor file management and backups. Those are some of the most humbling lessons I've ever had to learn. Today, we run everything through a NAS, a network-attached storage device. It's a bay of drive that expands over time, creates internal redundancies in case a drive fails, and is accessible from anywhere in the world with an internet connection. We have 2 of these units, one that lives at our office and one that sits at my home, mirrored. So in the event of a fire or flood at one location, the work is safe in another. A solid 4-bay NAS runs around $600 and you can find them for less. You can build out a whole system for under $1,000, and it's not sexy, but it's absolutely essential. We also add portable SSDs for field work so we can offload our camera cars and safely back up our files while we're out in the field shooting. Number 3, business systems. This is a business and every business needs systems on day one. A website, an email provider, a CRM to manage your clients and leads, an accounting tool, cloud storage to deliver files, and if you're in photo or film, a software suite like Adobe Creative Cloud to handle all your editing workflows. These things are often more expensive than most people realize and are usually subscription-based, and they're almost always the first thing overlooked in favor of something shinier like a new lens or new drone. But your systems are what make you look and operate like a professional. They're what allow you to actually run the business side of this career. Build and invest in them early on and you'll be miles ahead of people who wait. Number 4, legal and contracts. Yeah, legal work is one of the least sexy things you'll spend money on. And done right, it's often one of the most expensive. You can find templates online, but when it comes to legal paperwork, you get what you pay for. When I transitioned into this career, I was coming out of running a construction business. During that time, I went through some brutal legal disputes, experiences that made me deeply appreciate what a solid contract actually protects you and your clients from. Proper legal paperwork was one of the first things I put in place when I went full-time as a creative professional, and it has saved me more times than I can count. It also signals to new clients immediately that you're a professional and you're not messing around. Yeah, cameras are cool, but not getting paid because there was no contract in place is definitely not. So don't skimp on this. Number 5, support. When you're starting out, you're going to wear a lot of different hats, and at some point you simply just can't do it all. And trying to do it all will slow you down more than it saves you. So one of the first investments I made was in a bookkeeper. She keeps my receipts, invoices, and day-to-day accounting items in order. When tax time comes, everything is clean and ready to go. And along the way, she's taught me best practices that I use every day on how to structure bids, how to handle travel expenses, how to think about the financial side of this business. And over time, I've added support people in place for things like IT, graphic design, and reliable subcontractors that I can call when things get busy. When things get crazy, and they will, having people in your corner that you trust and already in place means you don't have to scramble. You just make a phone call. Invest in support early, and it will pay you back. So if you're a photographer or filmmaker, when does the camera come in? Yeah, you're absolutely going to need one, but my point is this. You can invest in everything I just described and still have money left over for a camera. Used, rented, borrowed, there are tons of options. Cameras and lenses will come and go a lot throughout your career. Trust me, the infrastructure underneath your business, your computer, your storage, your systems, your legal foundation, and your support, that's what you'll use every single day, and that's what makes the rest of this possible. The gear is the tool, the business is the thing that's living and breathing. If you're building something from scratch right now, I hope this reframe helps. Drop a comment and let me know what you wish you'd invested in earlier. I genuinely love to hear it. New episodes drop every Sunday. Subscribe if this is the kind of content you're looking for, and I'll see you next week.